minutes early. Let's see. Yeah, there we are. Good to go. And then how do I pop out there's a way to pop out how many people are watching too. Let's see that. It's been a while since I've done this. That's why we're on early. Maybe it's the creator dashboard. Oh yeah, it's the stats. Ah, that's right. So we pop that out. Let's put that somewhere. And we don't really need it to be super big, but maybe we'll yeah, maybe we'll just move it to a window that no one cares about, so we can go check it as needed. Yep. Let's see, and like, oh, that. All right, perfect. Wow, 1 viewer, hey. Cool. All right, so welcome everybody, which is now 2 of us. Hopefully you can hear me. All right. And yeah, if you're in the, just feel free to join the chat and we'll get started. So basically, let me know who you are and where we're going. Okay, so today, what we're gonna do is, basically there's this problem with Conda Smithy right now where staged recipes is failing to convert. So this is the Conda Forge thing, obviously, where staged recipes is failing to convert the feedstocks or new recipes into feedstocks. And so if I go and open up, why is this not opening up? So if I go open this up and I take a look at the error somewhere down here, what's going on is that the new version of ruaml.yaml is not. It had an API change, and we've kind of messed this up a couple times. And so I'm going to go into Conda Smithy and try to actually fix this, which sort of sucks because we already had a whole big pull request and release cycle already happen. Let's see. Yeah, so if you're in the chat, just feel free to let me know. Let's see, users in chat. Oop, it's just me. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So we'll go into Conda Smithy. So I am still on the old branch. So let's go ahead and fix that up. So get pull. And let's remove the RuML branch, the RuML fix branch, and let's check out a new one. So let's call this like real RuML fix. because creativity. And so I'm not actually even sure what the issue is. So if we go into let's go into the Conda Smithy directory, and we can see that, yeah, so this is in the utils file on line 91. So it's like this dump code. So Forge YAML is it's a string, right? And I thought a string would work for a file name, but apparently if we go back and look at the issue over here, it actually needs, the real thing is that this stream argument needs to have a write method. So, and let's go ahead and look at the actual old issue, or the previous PR that we closed. So this is, we want to go to Conda Smithy, in fact. Where is it? Also, I got a new microphone, so hopefully that helps and you guys can hear everything. So let's go. Yeah, so the pull request that was just closed, or just merged and released, is, it really wasn't very big. It was just like, change this open thing to this other piece. And I thought, I thought that's all you needed, but apparently that is not all you need. And the docs for this are here at this link. So I can put this in the chat for folks. Let's see. Oh, still just one viewer. I should probably tweet out that I'm doing this now. So let me get some visibility, I guess. This is but not from Conda Forge. From myself. Okay. Tweet. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so I don't actually know why it wouldn't work. So like if we go here, there's this departure from the previous API piece where it says, if you had something like this, you could just pass in something to safe dump, YAML.safedump. Hopefully you can read that. Let's make it bigger. But now we're in version 0.16.2 and we want to do this. Now this is specifically using a pathlib thing, which I don't understand why you need a pathlib. Why can't this just work with a string? I don't know. Maybe we should just give in and use pathlib. That seems, I don't know. That seems like giving in. Like why? I don't know. But okay, why don't we just give in? Because we're done futzing with this. So we'll say, come in here and we'll say from pathlib import path, and because we're super lazy, we'll just do path parentheses. I mean, I think that's literally all that you need to do here. Let's see. Oh, 2 viewers. Hey there, whoever is new. And so, okay, so we'll wrap it in pathlib. Hopefully that'll be enough. And I don't know why RuML requires this, but they do. So let's go ahead and, so we need to write a news entry. CD news, so we'll say CP template, and then real RuML fix.rst, right? We just need to update the changelog, and we'll say changed, maybe fixed, I guess. I don't know. It's probably a fixed. YAML dump. Now uses pathlib.path. object. Pretty stupid, but there it is. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll commit this. YAML uses path, and then we'll push that up. Gen real RUML fix, and we'll go ahead and open a pull request for this. So, and I don't think the PRs here take super long. So that's good. So yeah, bam, added a news entry. Uses path object. Now, like in example. Okay, so hopefully this will just work. If anyone, 5 viewers, wow. Is anyone actually in the chat now? Yes. Geir Molenko, I guess. So if anyone wants to do something, or if anyone wants me to do something while we're waiting for the CI to burn through, let me know. Or we can just sit and watch the paint dry, I guess, which is probably the most boring Twitch stream you've ever seen. If this wasn't already a boring enough Twitch stream. Also, if anyone can like verify that you can actually hear my voice, that would be amazing. You know, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself, which would kind of suck. But there it is. I know it takes like 30 seconds for you guys, for like the round tripping of messages, which is another thing. But at least I got a new microphone. I'm on my laptop at the office today. So hopefully my webcam's better than it has been in the past. And it's overall an improved experience for you all. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I think this doesn't take super long, which is good. And then after this, what we're going to do, assuming this passes, I'm just going to merge it, which is probably not what I should be doing. But hey, like, there's a million things backed up on stage recipes, so we should get those pushed through. I'm going to merge it. I'm going to cut a release so you can see what that looks like. I'm going to be cutting a release with this tool called Reaver, which is really awesome. And not just because I wrote it, but it's like a really powerful tool. And then hopefully all the stage recipes issues will go away. But I'm also taking suggestions for whatever you want me to show you next. So while we're waiting for the paint to dry, we can take a look at Reaver, I guess. Put this in the chat as well. So Reaver is this command line utility that what it does is it helps you release your, good one. Basically it helps you release your code. So there's a bunch of different activities and you can declare what those release activities are, and then it knows how to both execute those activities, set them up, undo them if something went wrong, etc. So, and check that you are able to do those activities, or you have the proper permissions to do those release activities. So it's kind of like a very formal way of declaring what it means to release a software project. And it's pretty powerful. There's a lot of different tools in there. So that's why we had to write a news entry, etc. Okay. So this stupid thing ran, which is great. Looks like there's some warnings in the test, but those are not caused by us, so I'm not going to worry about it. And we're going to go ahead and merge this bad boy, because that's what we're going to do. And we'll delete the branch, like saying humans. Hopefully we won't have to iterate too many times with this. Okay, check out master, get pull. Oh no, I forgot to include the news entry. Oops, in my haste. So we'll just say add news, git add dot. And then we'll just push this up to master because it's just it's a tiny little commit. So hopefully you all aren't super upset with me. Anyone in the chat? Nope, just the same old. Same old. Okay, cool. So there we go. And git pull. Oh, we should delete that branch locally. Branch.d real round malfix. cd dot. Okay, perfect. So now we've got this new code in here. Say we want to release a version. Well, the first thing we need to do is check which version number we want to release, right? So which ones are taken. So the next one that we need to go for is 3.4.5. And so how we work this actually is before we even try to release, we'll run this command line utility rever, and we'll run rever check to make sure that we have all the proper permissions and that everything is installed and set up correctly. So this does a number of things, like it checks that the changelog activities are right. It checks that we can actually push the tag up to GitHub. It does that by creating a fake dunder rever tag, pushing that up and then deleting it. It then what's the next thing that it does? It checks that we can issue GitHub releases, which we can. Right now it's checking that we have the latest version of Conda Smithy installed and can actually re-render the feedstock, which is pretty important. And so, yeah, it's doing all of that stuff for us. That step, unfortunately, takes a couple of moments, mostly because checking, like having Conda Smithy check that it can re-render is somewhat of an expensive operation, I think, because it does a lot of like searching of the graph, etc. But okay, once that's all done, we're there. And now to perform a release, all that we have to do is say rever and then the release number. So 3.4.5 is the next release number. So if we go ahead and run this, what it does is it'll run through the actual activities. It builds a changelog out of all those news entries, which in this case is just one. Let me scroll up to describe what's going on here. It tags the release. It pushes that tag to GitHub. It issues a GitHub release, so it actually builds a little binary, it builds a tarball out of the source code, and sends that up to Conda Smithy, or sends that up to GitHub. So in this case, it's using sdist, and we're pushing that piece up. Then it does the Conda Forge release activity. So this is actually the tool that's underneath the Conda Forge auto tick bot. It uses rever to run Conda Smithy to re-render and to bump the version number and to grab the source and do the hash and update the hash and all that minutia that you don't really want to care about. And then it re-renders the feedstock after that's all done, and voila, we've now done a release. So if we go and we look at Conda Smithy, we now have a new release, which is awesome for this, with the changelog entry that we just wrote included in the release notes, and this archive value set into that. The other thing that it did, which is really cool, is for that Conda Forge release activity, is if you go to the actual feedstock for Conda Smithy, so Conda Smithy feedstock, it opened a new PR for us. So this is this PR that we just opened, or that Rever just opened for us. And Rever will tell you what the URL for that thing is, so you don't have to like go and futz and find it. But here it is, and you know, once this is done, we will have the new Conda Smithy out, and hopefully that thing will actually just work. And hopefully I didn't make any mistakes in this. Okay. Yeah, So, yeah, once again, yay, more people, more people in the chat. So we're just kind of waiting for CI at this point. I hope that this, and what we've been doing is trying to fix the Condo-Smithy re-rendering. And just, if it would be great if someone in the chat could verify that they can actually hear me. Because I'm on like a totally new setup, and I'm also like willing to take suggestions, recommendations, or anything you all want me to do or dive into. I'm happy to do that. So, great. Thank you, David. Finally, confirmation. Perfect. Yeah, that's awesome. So, yeah, hopefully this fixes it. We'll just have to merge this whenever it's done, but which will hopefully be soon, and then it'll like the CDN will take like 40 minutes or whatever, and it'll all flow down, and eventually staged recipes will be fixed, knock on wood, assuming that this thing actually works. And after that, like, I don't know, I'm happy to kind of either tackle certain issues or try to make feedstocks, or if people just want me to like show them something, any recommendations are fair game here. So yeah, I guess that really only leaves the 3 of you in the chat with any kind of voice, but you know, if you have ideas, otherwise we'll probably just like go off the deep end, or go and look at like how I review some stage recipes issues, which I think we can probably do now. I don't know if that's like interesting to folks, but yeah. I do have to say that like one of the tools that I'm really like consistently loving right now is Octobox. So if you don't use Octobox to manage things, like, please, like, you probably should be. It's an amazing tool with like just a lot of capabilities. It really solves a lot of problems. So yeah, so why don't we go ahead and like just start reviewing staged recipes PRs, because like that's always kind of interesting if you don't get to see the other side of that ever. So Octobox lets me come down here. I'll select staged recipes. There's a bunch of things right now, or there's like 17 that I haven't reviewed. This Firefox PR is kind of cool. It's pretty non-standard. I'm not entirely sure why they're doing it, but it's something I've always wanted, or I've always wanted a browser, and I think they're doing it for testing reasons. So like, you know, so that they can like install Selenium and actually run things. But so this is Sarah Bird who put this in with Felipe, and basically what this does is it doesn't really play like these tools. Yeah, this was at the Pangeo Sprint, right? Yeah, it's got that. If you have more information on why the Firefox package is being developed, that'd be awesome, David. But what's kind of cool about this is like browsers are super duper expensive to compile. They're just like fabulously expensive, and there's not enough CI time to be able to compile them from scratch. And so what happens, I'll make this a little bigger for folks, is instead they're literally just grabbing the pre-compiled binaries, including an MSI on Windows and like the Firefox.pkg on Mac, and unpacking it and moving that to the proper location. Now, this kind of sucks because it's not necessarily guaranteed to be binary compatible with the other tool, like, you know, with the rest of the ecosystem. But usually browsers are compiled on a super restrictive set of basically to maximize the number of a super restrictive API so that they can maximize the number of architectures. So it's kind of fits. It's just not compiled with the rest of the things that we're doing. So like you can see this build script. If we take a look at this build script, it makes a little directory. If you're on Linux, basically all you have to do is untar it and move the stuff from the other directory, from one directory to another. If you're on Mac, you have to like actually use a special tool to unpack it, which kind of sucks. And then move things around and change a launch script and stuff like that. On Windows, I think it's a little more annoying. You have to use this MSI exec tool to to basically pretend you're a user and install this MSI into a particular location. And so, yeah, that's how it is. It's kind of a different recipe, but I don't think they have it working on all platforms yet. So if we go down and look at this, oh, they're running it right now. So I guess it's failing on Mac again. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm not going to merge this, obviously. That would be terrible of me. Let's see, how's this doing? It's not there yet. Okay, so we can archive that one. Let's see. There's a lot of new Ruby recipes, which is actually pretty cool. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at like this Ruby AWS.SDK one. That seems pretty neat. I think they're gonna wait on these, but basically Ruby has kind of an equivalent to no-arch Python. So so that's what they're more or less doing, but it's because there's no-arch Ruby, it goes into no-arch generic, which is kind of neat. And then there's this gem install piece. Ruby comes with gem, and then that's it. Like, there's pretty much like nothing else that needs to go into it. So it looks very, very similar to no-arch Python, basically, which is nice. So there's this little recipe example for how to do Ruby installs. Now these have a lot going on. Unfortunately, I can't merge this yet because they want to resolve some other pieces. I think that's most of them that are not installed. This might end up being a pretty short episode, in fact. But in the meantime, we can look at this astronomy.net one. Looks like there are some issues here. Oh, this is where we got into this big discussion about CDT packages, which is, if you don't know what those are basically meant to represent in the conda graph system packages. And so it's sort of a declaration that like this thing relies on some system packages because it's something coming from the kernel or it's some device driver or something like that. And I think, there's also a bunch of these that are not necessarily on here. I don't know, this is too complicated to show. But, okay. So our feedstock conda Smithy PR is done. We can merge this in and just show and we can do, we can now get a new conda recipe. This again, of course, will take like 40 to 50 minutes to actually hit, and then from there to hit the CDN, and then from there, hopefully, this stupid issue on stage recipes will be done, and then we won't have to worry about it anymore. So, yeah, that I think is like kind of all I wanted to talk about today. I don't have anything else really, but if folks want to jump in and chat, got a lot of people in the chat actually. If folks want to, that's weird. How do you have more people in the chat than you do on the viewers? Man, Twitch is weird. I don't understand. Oh, hi, Aaron. Do you want to? Wait, Aaron, you're not even in the little chat list here. I don't get it. Um, but Twitch is definitely strange. There's some like real latency issues. Yeah, but if you want me to do anything, I can be your little dancing monkey for the next 30 minutes. Otherwise, I think I'm gonna sign off and go grab some lunch. But yeah, give it probably another few seconds for folks. Or let me type into the chat since that's where people. If any, let's demo something. Yeah, I guess you missed the cool stuff. It was really just a bug fix in Conda Smithy, but I walked through that in Reaver and everything. I'll throw this up on YouTube later, but if you want me to demo something or just talk about something, or confound me with something for the next 30 minutes or so, that would be fine. I'm just coming back from vacation, so I am simultaneously overwhelmed and don't have much to talk about necessarily. Which is like kind of a terrible situation, but that's how it goes. Yeah, my vacation was good though. Went to this really remote location in Idaho. There was a pool that was fed by a hot spring, so it was 101 degrees. Is Conda Forge going to use GitHub Actions, asks Aaron. That's a great question. The intention is a strong yes. We haven't really had anyone working on it yet. I'm not sure our beta got approved for it. But the linter bot and some of the other core pieces, some of the other bots are probably going to be moved to GitHub Actions. We just haven't done that yet. So right now they're all on a Heroku agent, which is pretty annoying because it's annoying because not everyone on our core team understands Heroku, myself included. I guess I kind of just missed that boat. And then it's also annoying because the permissions model is different. So anytime you want to you have to basically manually add everyone from core. I think GitHub is doing kind of an incredible thing here where the piece that they're actually selling is the permissions model, right? Getting other people locked into, the GitHub permissions or the permissions tied to the repo is pretty powerful. I think that's their big selling point currently. And then just the more features they can add to that permissions model, the better. But that's Anthony's hot take on it. Yeah. Any other questions? Concerns? Anyone want me to demo anything? Yeah, unfortunately, I already did the Conda Smithy thing, so I think it's okay if we have an early day, but yeah. And there's not so many, I think there's not so many pieces left. Not so many things to show off necessarily. There's been some work on Conda Press that I've done, or that Marcello has done, but not anything that you can't go read about. So, and not anything that I don't want to. I'd probably catastrophically fail to show as my first time, or using them for my first time. Basically, you can manually add and subtract dependencies and recipes if you want. And the big work there is having a mapping between PyPI names and Conda Forge or other channel names. And so that's like kind of the next big step, or one of the next big steps. And so, okay, well, if no one's gunning for anything, I think I am going to go ahead and sign off and probably see you all in a couple of weeks here. Yeah, so next week there's an open source directions episode on Matplotlib, so you should all join, sign up for that. It should be a lot of fun. And then after that, I'll be back to the Twitch stream again. So, and hopefully we'll be less in vacation mode and have more to talk about. So, okay, thanks everybody. Bye bye.